You know, if I was going to talk to someone about introducing them to Buck Knives and what Buck Knives is, it's a family-held company that is utterly devoted to having a long-term relationship with our customers. So my great-grandfather, Hoyt Heath Buck, was a 12-year-old apprentice blacksmith working in Leavenworth, Kansas, in it was a 2-story blacksmith shop where they would take the wagons down below and do that repair, and then they had a general mercantile up above. And so my great-grandfather was making knives with the files after they were throwaway. So he was using scrap from the blacksmith shop to make little odds and ends knives, sell those, and that was his 12-year-old contribution to the family income. So they relocated from Leavenworth, Kansas to the Pacific Northwest. So that is where Hoyt met Daisy, my great-grandmother, and raised 7 kids, 4 boys, 3 girls, up in that area. Meanwhile, he was still making knives on the side. So my grandfather had joined the Navy as a young man and fell in love with San Diego, California, fell in love with the weather. The ability to be on the water all year long. So he raised his family in San Diego. So in 1945, my grandfather, with 4 kids, had his parents move in with him. So Hoyt and Daisy left Mountain Home, Idaho, and drove south and moved in with their oldest son, Al, so Alfred Charles Buck, my grandfather. And the 2 of them were H. Buck and Son, Lifetime Knives, and their story, their company narrative was, we make excellent products to the best of our ability, and we guarantee them for life. And so in 1961, we incorporated with 12 employees. In 1964, introduced the 110 Folding Hunter. So the knife that most people almost think of as a generic Buck knife, the brass on each end, wood, 110 folding lock back. And for the next 15 years, no matter what my dad and granddad did, could not keep that knife in stock. It just took the whole knife marketplace by storm. And so we grew from $1 million business to about a $30 million business, and just beyond my grandfather's wildest dreams. But the strength of that knife is what just propelled us. Meanwhile, the family legacy of customer service, good design, best materials we can find, you know, those principles, my grandfather always remained true to those principles. I started with Buck in 1978. I started on the line making 110s. I spent one whole summer making knives, so it was a nice experience just to see the importance, the interplay, the teamwork. When you work in a production, it's so different than working in an office. When you work in a production line, everybody upstream and downstream from you depends on you. So there's a continuity that has to be adhered to. So in 1994 was executive VP, 1999 was president, and then my father, he never really retired, but he just kind of took another little half step out the door, another little half step. And then in 2005, we relocated our business, I was a driving force behind that. We had that meeting, relocated our business to North Idaho in 2005. So this first comment is regarding the Buck 110. I cannot see giving this knife anything but 5 stars. It's an American icon. Anyone who hunts, collects knives, or is even mildly interested in knives knows this knife when they see it. Typically, their response is positive, like, oh, nice knife, classic. It's such a solid design and it's so tough. I grew up watching my father use one and I had to have one for myself. I got an original Buck 110 from 1964 for $9. I want that one. After cleaning it up and sharpening it, it is the greatest knife I've ever had and I still use it today. Let's see, this is about the Buck 112 Auto. So we introduced the 110 and 112 in a switchblade, in an automatic format a few years ago. This knife is so much more than I expected. I have owned many Buck and other brands of knives over my 74 years, but I've never been as impressed as I am with this Ranger Auto. The fit, finish, and feel is simply superb. So this is about a 110 as well. I had to have a Buck knife. This is the tried and true standard, the knife I remember admiring as a kid. I am sensing a theme here with these. I've purchased a good many knives in recent months because I just love them, and as soon as I saw this, I knew I had to add it to the mix. It is a high quality knife that never fails and will carry you through a lifetime. You can't go wrong with a classic Buck. These people should be writing our ads. I bought my 110 in 1972 when I joined the Navy and got to my first ship. Still have it today. Went through 4th sheath cases for it. Still holds a razor sharp edge.
If you want to look into this camera, and not just to the people that you just read, but to the entire Buck community after reading that, is there a message you want to give to them?
Yeah, I'm gonna get all misty here, hold on. It's kind of a sacred relationship with say, a manufacturer and a customer. So if you're gonna build a product and a consumer is gonna use the product, there's an interdependency there going on that really means a lot to me. And so, getting feedback from customers is really one of my favorite duties here. For me, hearing feedback like we just read through, it's a confirmation that we're doing things right, and we need to continue to do things right. I know, some companies, so being a 4th, and now my son's involved, so being a 5th generation family-held business, I understand why that's kind of rare. The strengths, the school of hard knocks that drove like my grandfather, the school of hard knocks that drove him, that made him the person that he was. My life was a whole lot easier than his. And so the same values, the same toughness, the same dedication to principle, it's hard to maintain when you have upbringings that are so different. So to have this kind of legacy, to know that he's up there looking over the shoulder, making sure that you're not scrimping on this or you're not falling behind on that, that you're holding true to the values, that we're going to do a good product, we're going to take care of our customers, we're going to listen to what they tell us, we're going to incorporate that into the next iteration of design, that all of those things are going to continue to happen. And none of that's possible without the patronage and loyalty of our customers, as well as them giving us that honest feedback. And it's not always positive. I mean, we read a bunch of positive ones today, but I get a lot of crap from customers that you have to listen to and you have to respond to, because it's real. We did fail. We didn't come through in that regard. We didn't step up as strongly as we should have. And so learning those lessons and making those things right are just as much a part of this relationship. And so that is what I most appreciate about customers. Be honest with the companies that you buy from.
That was quite the interesting trip to Buck Knives up in Idaho, and it was a true pleasure to get to know CJ face to face. It's always special to hear from a 4th generation knife maker and seeing how the company has built itself from the ground up, evolved with the times, but still maintains that mission that was established so long ago. To that end of creating knives that are both iconic and timeless, but also updated for the modern era, Buck has made us 3 excellent new exclusives. The first being this 110 Auto, which has nickel silver bolsters, an ebony inlay, and an S30V blade made in the USA. Excellent knife. And for those of you everyday carriers out there who prefer to carry in the pocket than on the belt, Buck has the iconic 112 Ranger with a thumb stud and a pocket clip, so you can carry it in your pocket without any trouble at all. This one has an S35VN blade, a Dymilux walnut handle, and nickel silver bolsters as well. And then lastly, the one that speaks to my soul is this one with the green micarta handle, the brass bolsters, and a CPM S45VN blade. Once again, made in the USA and backed by Buck's forever warranty. And I'd like to ask you all a question. A lot of Buck 110s and 112s have been around for the better part of a century, and they are still ticking. In fact, we've heard about them in the comments from you guys. What is quality? Is quality the knife with the fanciest new mechanism and the fanciest new material? Or is it the knife that will still do its job 50 years from now? Let me know. We'll talk to you next time.